I'm not good with the weight, but he's probably 15, 20 maybe.
We have finally made it to the time of the year that I have been waiting for nearly 3 months now. Open water fishing season. Speaking of open water fishing, I was able to do some of that today here in central Iowa. With the recent warm weather, I think all the places, the usual spots will be open here, hopefully within the next week or two. But the river right now is the only one that's mainly open. So today was the first excursion with the flat bottom boat on the river in hopes of catching maybe some walleye, or worst comes to worst, catching some rough fish. So fast forwarding throughout the day, I got there at about 7:30 this morning. A little chilly this morning. The boat started up pretty well. And yeah, the water was a little dirty for the most part. I didn't do much fishing right away. I ran way upstream until I could find some clearer water. And there's actually a creek that's flowing into the river that caused a lot of the water downstream to be super dirty. So once you were past that creek, it was actually crystal clear water, which in turn allowed me to actually see some fish in the water. So sadly, I never saw any white tips, never saw any walleye or bass, but I saw tons of red horse, carp, buffalo, all sorts of rough fish. And to my surprise, as I was driving in some of the water that was 3, 4, 5, 6 feet, because you could see down that far, you would see some catfish periodically kind of sunning themselves in the shallow rocks. And the first time I drove really close to one of the catfish, I'm like, that can't be a catfish. But I circled back around, and sure enough, it was a nice catfish just kind of sitting on the bottom in some current. And the more I kind of traveled in that area, there were actually quite a few of them in there. So I took a little bit of time, tossed a couple walleye jigs at one of the catfish on the bottom in hopes to just see how big it was. And eventually I got it right in front of his face, and he ended up biting it. So I only caught one fish today, and it happened to be that flathead catfish that you're about to see on video. I didn't have my scale with me or an actual tape measurement. My guess is maybe 15 pounds, maybe a little more. Not super good with the weights of catfish, but all in all, it was an awesome trip because the weather was nice and I got to see one of these beasts in person. It's the biggest one I've caught. I know a lot of people have caught larger ones, but it was just kind of cool to fight it in the current, and yeah, first fish of the year. So enjoy the video. Here's to many more fishing opportunities in the upcoming weeks.
Oh my God. Come on, buddy. Oh my God. Flathead, yeah. Oh boy. Whew. That's the biggest one I've ever got. I'm just gonna get a length on them and get them back in.